manufacturing, and we partner up with these world-leading pharmaceutical companies to bring you your cutting-edge technology to the Canadian market. And we do represent some of the most amazing companies out there. So let's meet our brands. We've got Aptos, and Aptos has been recently approved for sale in Canada, and the feedback from our nurses and our nurse practitioners has been absolutely spectacular. These methods are quick, 30-minute treatments, no downtime, and natural volumization, tissue repositioning, and it enhances enhances your skin. It's got biostimulators in there for up to 2 years results. So as a winner of that best threads at the Monocle's World Congress for Aesthetic Medicine. It's absolutely fantastic. And another award winner from the Aesthetic Awards is our Phedia High Tissue PRP. This device is fantastic because it's easy to use. It gives you quality and high concentration of platelet-rich plasma and beautiful for therapeutic and beauty uses. And of course, we are your one-stop shop. We do have all sorts of supplies and medical needs for your clinic and spa. We do have it so you are price matched. So collect your invoices, make sure that you have the assistance from one of our reps here at New Year, and we will help you through that. And then, of course, we have personal beauty devices too. These fantastic devices are great for your clients to continue that beautiful work you've done for them in your clinic treatment room. And then, of course, our fabulous medical grade skincare. We have Dermaceutic Laboratory, and this one here is in a beautiful system. It's a concise system, about 20 products to the line. But what's great about it, it supports all your medical aesthetic treatments as a great secondary line. For those clients that need a quick skin preparation, support during that treatment series that you offer them, whether it's energy based, whether it's chemical peels, and of course, that maintenance and enhancement of those results post support. And of course, today we are here to speak about Mesoaesthetic medical grade skincare from Barcelona, Spain, for that skin expert. They are the market leader in the field of medical cosmetics for a reason. They give you solutions for all skin conditions, all skin types and colors, and is created and backed in science. So they create the science that everyone else follows. They are the expert in pigmentation, offering what we're going to talk about today, cosmelan, and of course, dermamelan for melanin-based pigmentation. So let's get busy. Of course, you know me, I'm Pina Lee. I've been with aesthetics for many, many years, and I just love to share my knowledge, empower you, the learner of mesoaesthetic, to become that skin expert. So today, oh, we've got a message. Let me check that out. Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome. So we are going to speak about cosmelan. This is a pigment control benchmark. This is used around the world for, well, it started in 90. They started with the first cosmelan. It has been reformulated, and I'll tell you, it truly does help the skin. This is a system, a professional pigment control system, which is going to be effective for all skins and phototypes. It is a dual corrective and regulating action approach with a one in-office procedure and a minimum 6-month home treatment protocol. It's safe, it's effective, it treats melasma, solar pigmentation, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, and freckles in that dermis. So as a professional treatment, it does the epidermis, It also provides that anti-glycation and anti-aging effect. So you're going to see an amazing result in the skin. Not only its luminosity, it is going to be like just rejuvenated, younger looking, tighter, smoother, refined, and brighter. It is the world's most trusted hyperpigmentation system in the world. So we all know that melanin process, it does not ever stop, but it does get either hypo or hyperactive. And in a typical world, with that visible pigmentation at the surface of the skin. However, this factory never stops and it produces that melanin. It gets deposited throughout that skin of the epidermis and is visible. It gets darker with more triggers, and that melanocyte or factory can speed up its production line at any time because of these triggers. So, what we're doing with cosmelan, we're creating a dual approach to pigmentation. You see, in most typical treatments, we do that corrective action, always treating the symptom, which is that visible pigmentation in the skin for pigment issues. It Now, with Cosmolan, we're still going to do that. We're still going to get rid of that existing pigmentation that lays at the surface. And we do this in an exfoliation manner, removing that visible pigmentation. But we go on further. We're going to eliminate all that melanin that's been deposited throughout the layers of the skin. So not just up at the surface, but deep into that epidermis. And that autophagy process continues until we rid that skin of the majority of that excessive melanin that's built up. But this is where Cosmolan shines and where it stands out and so unique from other treatments out there. This is where we're going to get into that regulatory action, blocking the transfer of pigment from those melanocytes, those factories at the base, to those skin cells from that melanosome transfer. So we reduce that transfer. We also reduce that uptake of those raw ingredients that they need to make that melanin, such as your copper ions. But now, with that reformulation, we are going one step further. We are going to switch off those instructions, those gene expressions, to those enzymes responsible for getting that melanogenesis process even started. So, this is going to give you that long term clarity, get your skin back to baseline, but it's not a cure, it's a tool. So, how does Cosmolan achieve these, dramatic changes in the skin? It does this with a number of highly potent active ingredients. Some you will recognize, some are exclusive to mesoaesthetic, but also to Cosmolan itself. So you can see here we've got Cosmazone. This is one of those exclusive ingredients. And melaphenone, which is been designed for dermamelan, our medical option for dermal hyperpigmentation. But melaphenone has recently been introduced to Cosmolan, so it just makes it even more divine. We've got more ingredients than here. So you've got different A's, you've got your B's, you've got your C's, you've got E's, you've got your hesperidin. You've got those acids that are going to suppress at that melanocyte, as well as the ingredients that will work at the different layers of the skin. Now let's take a closer look at that cosmazone. What makes this such an amazing complex is that, first of all, it's made with flavonoids. Now, flavonoids can do marvelous things to the skin. They're natural, they come from beautiful flowers and fruits. The issue with these amazing flavonoids, they are very volatile. They do not travel well to go to that part of the skin that we want them to work. So mesoaesthetic has encapsulated these amazing flavonoids, apigen and fluoretin, into a complex called a transethosome. Now, what a transethosome is a delivery system much more flexible than that of a liposome. Now, we're familiar with liposomes because they're great at pushing those ingredients into the skin. Now, a transthosome works even better because of its flexibility being greater than a liposome. It can drive those ingredients even further into the skin to that dermal junction where we can really make a change at that basal layer of the skin as well. So it allows those ingredients to get there stable and do the job. And what that is going to do for the skin, it is going to work on that autophagy process, ridding that skin, breaking down that melanin at every layer of that skin and bringing it up to the surface. And why your clients will go from dark to light and then more pigmentation showing throughout their treatment. Because when we're ridding the skin of pigmentation, it can only come out the top of the skin. Now, Cosmazone also works, as we said, epigenetically, working at the enzymes that activate that melanin creation process, reducing at certain levels, therefore reducing the instructions to begin melanogenesis, regulating that process. And with the ingredients of that beautiful flavonoids, we are going to have an anti-aging effect on the skin. We're going to reduce those MMPs, those enzymes that break down collagen. We also are going to increase the TIMP1, which is going to also naturally allow that body to inhibit those MMPs. Then we have the results with that cosmazone, that encapsulated complex that delivers those flavonoids deep into the skin. We see a 47% drop in the creation of that melanin. The second and amazing molecule is our melaphenone. This blows my mind because it's not just a complex, it is a molecule that they've created and they own. And as I said, it was specifically created for dermamelan and now added to the reformulated cosmelan. With that melaphenone, we're looking at a biomimetic molecule that takes the place of tyrosinase as it locks into tyrosin. So by doing so, we're going to reduce that tyrosinase activity by 56% by tricking it so it does not get oxidized with the tyrosin to create more melanin. And not only does melaphenone work directly on that enzyme, but it also supports and protects the cells of the skin, including your fibroblasts and your skin cells, because we know a cell just wants to be stable, do its job, and get their job done daily. But when oxidized stress is introduced, It impairs that skin's cellular function. Cells become damaged, they become less responsive to actives. So they now lose that ability to regenerate. They go into that survival mode. They create more senescent cells. And what that melaphenone is going to do, it's going to defend cells. It's going to help that cellular integrity. It's going to preserve that ability for that cell to take up ingredients and use them, and it's going to ensure that the skin can tolerate that treatment better. And you can see here there's a controlled cell, happy and healthy. We've added that oxidized stress to the cell, making it paralyzed. It's now in survival mode. We've actually created more senescent cells. And then adding that melaphenone to that oxidized stress induced cell, we can see it is much more viable to do its job. So not only does cosmelan give you the ingredients for your skin to do the job, but it gives you the support to the skin to use those ingredients. And when it comes to glycation, melaphenone again, because let's face it, when we have glycation, that advanced glycation end products get into the skin, it triggers more oxidized stress and chronic inflammation. And with that low grade inflammation, the products, again, how can they do their job when there's constant opposition? So with this, the melaphenones inhibit the formation of new glycation. And as you can see here in these slides, it also allows the reduction of existing advanced glycation end products. So it removes that gunk from those fibroblasts, allowing those cells again to be more viable to produce that collagen and to keep that chronic inflammation down. So when you put those amazing actions of the melaphenone, the cosmazone, and the rest of those great ingredients, you have a phenomenal anti-aging action to the skin. And when it comes to depigmentation, the results are unsurpassed. You can see here in our cultures, we have a skin cross section. It is skin that has been stimulated and allows those melanocytes to create that melanin. You can see here the melanocytes are quite active. Pigmentation and melanin is being stacked in the different cells. And at the surface, it is just collecting in those corneocytes, becoming that visible pigmentation. With the addition of cosmelan, just within 8 days, you can see how fast acting those ingredients get to work on not just that existing pigmentation on the surface, but bringing up and breaking down that pigmentation through autophagy action throughout those skin cells. And even the pigment factories themselves, those melanocytes, are not as active, they're not as outstretched and visibly calmer. So, with that, we have seen a controlled melanocyte. Our test for melanin production show a reduction of 90% when treated with cosmelan, giving you beautiful results that not just clear the skin, but just rejuvenate the texture as well. And here you can see in just 30 days that they can get that immediate clearance of existing pigmentation. But as that process brings it up, here you can see she's getting beautiful results. And by the time they get to their 180 days, typically we see a clearance of up to 89%. So this is what the treatment can do for you, and this is what it looks like. Your cosmelan pack includes that in-office treatment plus one of your cosmelan home packs that includes the home protocol of the cosmelan system. To complete your protocol, you will require two more home packs in that whole cosmelan protocol. So in clinic, you will have one in office treatment where you will prepare that skin. But you will put on the entire jar of Cosmolan 1. And what that is going to provide to the skin is an intensive depigmentation treatment. And each client will wear it home for its appropriate time. And then they will follow that in treatment protocol with a 6-month protocol at home. So the treatment continues. And when we're talking about exposure time for the mask, it will be worn either 6 or 8 hours, depending on the quality of that skin type, and the severity of that pigmentation issue. Now, once the client reaches their maximum exposure time, and no, before anyone asks, more is not better. So please stay and adhere to the protocol outlines. After that 6 or 8 hour exposure time, they will remove that mask at home, and then for the first 7 or so days, they will use the two products you see here from their home pack, the Milan Recovery and that Milan Sunscreen 50 Plus. This will help with the recovery from that intensive pigment treatment. It will repair that barrier function, soothe that irritated skin because it was a chemical peel of sort, and the skin will feel like a sunburn recovering from a traumatic experience. Now, you can soothe that skin with the anti-stress mask, which is a great way to do it. Now, once that skin has recovered and it's ready for that home protocol. Now, remember, as a skin professional, we are looking for skin renewal. We are looking for regeneration, continually keeping the program moving. However, if that skin is not able to work with those ingredients of the Cosmoland 2 and continue that rejuvenation program at that ideal application of twice a day, then you're going to adjust to what the skin can handle. So you're going to wait that 7 or so days for that skin to begin those ingredients, and you are going to monitor that skin. If it can't do twice a day, then adjust it to a soft protocol. Bring it down to daily use in the evening only, or every other day, or even every third day until the skin can receive those ingredients and use them to its best ability. Now, of course, that Cosmoland 2 is based on the ingredients of Cosmoland 1. However, it is not a mask. This is a cream, active cream. So it will be very thick. There is not a lot of moisture or water in this. You're going to use very little daily in the appropriate areas away from eyes and mucous membranes. Do not put it on broken or compromised skin. You want to repair it before you add it. And you are going to use 3 of those jars, and this is going to regulate that skin. Now, Milan recovery for anyone who is at risk of PIH, that has sensitized reddened skin, this is the choice and why it is the bomb for the cosmelan 2. It's going to soothe and replenish and re-lipify that skin, but it's also going to help to ensure that those melanocytes don't get overly active because it does have that regulatory capability. So you're going to use it every time you use Cosmolan 2, with it, over it, sandwich it, whatever works for your client's skin. And then even more so during the day to keep that comfort going. Of course, protection from UV, and not just from outside sun, from all the triggers in the house, our forced air, our heat from our furnaces and our stoves and our electronic devices. This ingredients are in here are going to protect you. And not only will they protect you from that UV damage and triggering those melanocytes, but it too has a regulatory capability with ingredients that are going to stop pigmentation. And now we have to understand when you are using a system like Cosmolan, it is not the first treatment option out the gate for hyperpigmentation. This is that Olympic treatment that a skin needs to be trained for so it can handle that constant renewal, that constant regeneration, and that constant work that it does throughout that 6 months. Like an athlete, they need to be in top shape and they need to train for that specific Olympic event like Cosmolan. So let's discuss what we're going to do in the clinic and why it matters. When we get that skin ready for Cosmolan, we ensure that the skin is calm and balanced and it is going to be responsive because we're going to use our cyanopeptide in our melano peels. It's going to strengthen that barrier and build the tolerance for that Cosmolan in that barrier. It is going to reduce further risk of PIH. Yes, ingredients in the product do that. However, you need to get the skin in that state. Get rid of that risk of sensitivity and inflammatory response. We want to enhance the Cosmolan's efficacy as well as better ready that skin. And how we do this is with the Melano Stop Transacts. Now you must understand, Mesoaesthetic is a brilliant science-based industry company that is going to create protocols and products to enhance and optimize results from Cosmolan. And that's exactly what this chemical peel does. It's formulated to target that epidural pigmentation on face and on your body. It is amazing to optimize that skin to its permeability of that Cosmolan one. Drives controlled and it gives you a uniform exfoliation, which is safe for all your phototypes. It strengthens that skin barrier. It improves the tolerance and reduces that sensitivity. And it's going to support cellular renewal while it manages that low grade inflammation. So it's going to just reinforce that skin health. It's going to set the stage for maximum efficacy. And it's going to also give you an indication on the readiness of that skin because it is quite a potent ingredient filled treatment that will help you judge how sensitive that skin is. Now, Melanostop Tranax, like all our meso heals, are designed to give you tangible results quickly, right from treatment one, but also to provide little to no downtime. Now, the skin will be reactive because you can see these amazing ingredients. We've got the AHAs, we've got BHAs. We've got tranexamic acid and hexylresorcinol. And of course, we've got antioxidants as well. And one of the stars is that peptide. That peptide targets those senescent cells and improves that skin tone and how that skin regenerates that function. So by using this peel, we're going to get that skin ready to do that cosmelan Olympic system. Now, let's talk a little bit about that peptide. This is that next generation in peptides. It is biomimetic. It is going to counteract that cellular senescence, reducing, because what is cellular senescence? Well, when cells stop splitting, stop mitosis, but don't leave, they become senescent cells. They're also called zombie cells if you've been on the net lately. And they no longer create new cells, but what they do is they produce, not reduce, they produce senescence associate secretion phenotypes, which are SAP's activity. So what our peptide does, it's going to reduce these sensitive activity, these set signals to make inflammation. And this is going to reactivate cellular renewal and the repair mechanisms in our skin. It's going to improve the firmness, the texture, and the radiance. And because it's in every one of our peels, using it before cosmelan is going to get that skin ready. So when we're scheduling our melanostop treatments, yes, of course, ideal skin, that unicorn, balanced, happy, healthy, retinized skin can get ready for cosmelan in just 2 weeks. But in the real world, our skins with hyperpigmentation issues also have other issues like compromised barriers, like low grade inflammatory activity going on, uneven thickness of that epidermis that's going to prevent a nice penetration of ingredients. So you want to tailor that schedule for prepping the skin based on their skin type and the tolerance of that skin, that resilience, that athletic quality. So typically when you're dealing with those lower photo skin types, especially with very little or low sensitivity, you are going to do a minimum of 2 sessions of your Melanostop Tran-X peel, and you're going to space them out every 15 days. So that's about one skin turnover. When we are dealing with those higher photo skin types, our 4 to 6s, or a sensitive skin of whatever color, or a skin that is inexperienced at high potent quality ingredients for a long-term use, then you want to extend that preparation time, not only for the comfort and experience during Cosmelan, but also the better prepared the skin is, more optimal results will that client receive. So in this case, I do recommend 4 to 5, which is a complete series of the Milano Stop Tran-X peels, again, spaced out every 15 days. So now you're looking at 6 to 8 weeks. For that inexperienced skin, it might be even longer, or that reactive rosacea prone skin. So be smart when you're prepping that skin. Allow at least one skin turnover cycle. Assess that skin readiness with your Milano Stop Tran-X peel, and then you're going to put them on. Now, at home, you need to prep the skin as well. Just like when you're prepping for a surgery or for a dental giant, very complex dental treatment, you need to prep that skin, prep those teeth, prep your body. Same thing for Cosmelan. And in the office, we're going to use that peel. At home, prepping the skins that are phototypes 1 to 3, the goal is to optimize that skin's receptiveness to get that pigment eliminated quickly. So we're going to worry about hydration and retinizing that skin. So we want to use Skin Retin zero point 0.3. Why Skin Retin zero point 0.3? Because it boosts that epidural turnover for better cosmelan absorption. It refines the texture, reduces that cohesion of those skin cells at the surface that prevents even penetration. It is going to ensure that barrier is going to be amplified with hydration and lipids. So we know they're at low risk of PIH, but they are more reactive with those ingredients that can strip that skin. So hydration and skin retin as your actives. For the prepping of the phototypes that are higher photo skin types, we're looking at the 4s to 6s. Then we're going to use our Melantrand 3 solutions. Now, the goal with those darker skin types is to safely regulate those melanocytes, regulate their activity, and prepare that skin without a lot of irritation and overexfoliation because they're more reactive with PIH. So with that Melantrand 3 solutions, we're going to provide a barrier support while getting that melangenesis process under control. Maximize the risk of rebound, of allowing that rebound pigmentation to occur. And it's going to be a gentle approach to those reactive melanocytes. Now, of course, skin retin is going to give you that 1% effect because it's got that 0.3 of pure retinol, but it also has 0.7% of bakuchiol. And that bakuchiol is going to help you with skins that are not so tolerant to that retinol. It's going to get that skin more retinized, and the better retinized the skin is, the better it will behave during that cosmelan. Obviously, you're going to start low and slow, but you want them on it nightly and the ability to wear it for a minimum of 2 weeks without that irritation, redness, or discomfort. And for those that were more concerned with PIH and reactive low grade inflammation in the skin, we've got our Melano Stop solutions, sorry, our Melantrand 3 solutions, a concentrate at night up to 4 drops, and it is very strong. It is going to block that tyrosinase, prepare that skin, inhibit melanin. The gel cream is a little more gentle. It is got no enzymatic acids and a different combinations of those actives. Beautiful to work together with that concentrate in the evening and then during the day. Now, for some skins, you might want to even combine using this skin retin on alternate days from the Melantrand 3 solutions. Work with that skin, learn that skin, and give them the best support. Now, here is a typical client experience on my cosmelan. And as you can see, it's in that first 30 days or so where that skin is going to need your support if necessary. Some skins, if they're best prepared, will have a very comfortable time with this treatment. And it'll be more like the end of the treatment for them. But for those skins that are struggling, we do have support. But you need to understand when I talk about a treatment system like Cosmelan being an Olympic style event for the skin, you're going to have redness, swelling, tightness, itching, and peeling. And these are all normal and yet temporary reactions because as your skin is healing, this is its process. These reactions show that your skin is renewing itself and it is responding as it should be to the treatment. Understanding that these are common and natural responses can help you and your client feel more comfortable throughout this healing process. But again, prep that skin and then stick to the recommended skin routine to support that skin's recovery and to enhance the cosmelan results. As the skin renews, we try to give you what you need in your home pack. But the skin cells are very unique to every individual. And for many skins, they may need additional care and comfort and hydration to support that discomfort in their experience. So here you've got a skin type 2. He's got that beautiful, reaction that we're expecting and looking for. And then it starts to taper off as the skin adjusts to this increased hyperactive renewal process continuously going on for 6 months. And then it starts to adjust and stabilize itself on its surface as the process continues to regulate deep under the skin. Now, we want to support you where we can. In every box of Cosmoland will be our prescription sheet. And if you don't have a digital copy of it, just reach out and I'll send you one. Here it helps us communicate with our clients and show them and highlight the importance of these products. Now, of course, we want to adjust. A size of a hazelnut, not a chance. I would use just the end of my finger, just enough to spread on the skin. And then, of course, Milan Recovery and sunscreen. This is going to follow that client through their patient experience from day 0 all the way through that first week of that recovery and well into each month of their treatment. Now, of course, we do have those complementary products that support and help that skin do the job that we are demanding of it from the Cosmoland system. Now, this is non-negotiable. All skin should be using a daily cleanser and to ensure that there's no interference, ensure that ingredients play well together. We highly, highly recommend that you stay in mesoaesthetic while you're in treatment. Now, the Hydro Cream Fusion is a delight because it allows you to keep those natural lipids in the skin. It mimics the skin's natural lipids. You use it on dry skin, the gel transforms to an oil, and it's beautiful day and night. The anti-stress mask from our pink sensitive line is that immediate deep relief that you can use up to twice daily, weekly, and it's going to calm that sensitive and redness from that heightened stage. For that daily maintenance to keep that comfort, keep that skin resilient, be able to reinforce that barrier daily. We've got the Skin Balance, the 911 serum that you use 4 or 5 drops for. Again, use it with the Cosmoland to blend it, layer it what it needs. And for those that are concerned of excessive flaking or when they are using your Milano Stop Heals, the Fast Skin Repair is gorgeous because it is a nourishing cream and calming. And then, of course, the other color that they use while they're in Cosmoland is your blue from the moisturizing solutions. Now we have a few options. We've got that beautiful HA Densamatrix that has 3 different complexes. One that has 4 types of hyaluronic acid, from reticulated hyaluronic, light, medium, and heavyweights. It has a complex to protect you from those enzymes that break down your hyaluronic acid, and it's got that pro anti-aging complex that's going to promote collagen and elastin for all skins, for anyone looking for hydration and for healing. And again, it is a light absorbing serum, so beautiful to layer and blend. For those that need more nourishing, we've got the Hydrovital Factor K, essential in the winter on cosmelan. In the summer, some of the thicker skins or more resilient skins can go with the H8 Densamatrix. But again, you're the skin expert. Look at that skin, give it what it needs. And of course, with cosmelan, the key takeaways is cosmelan is a highly effective pigmentation controlled treatment, but it's not a cure for melasma. The skin will appear and be brighter, clearer, and more refined texture, rejuvenated and younger looking skin, just like this client here. But ongoing support and management are essential for preserving that long term. Our system includes your skin preparation, your cosmelan system in office and home. But post treatment, you can't just stop. You need to maintain those results. When we bring cosmelan system to those melanocytes, they are going to change their behavior. With that in-office application, we are going to use that potent tyrosinase inhibitors that give you immediate disruption of that melanin production. And it's going to give you that, for many, that deep pigmentation and the appearance of all that surface pigmentation controlled. And then we get into the cosmelan 2, where we're going to regulate. We're going to do more controlling. We're re-educating those melanocytes through consistent suppression of their overactivity. But then that crucial post-treatment time where stabilization is needed. These melanocytes remain reactive. You have just taken away all their control, all those beautiful ingredients that kept them stable. So now they are jonesing and reactive and prone to relapse. So this is where we have to understand that post-cosmelan maintenance is essential. Pigmentation, especially melasma, they're chronic conditions. Without that ongoing management, it can often recur. And it's not the fault of the treatment and system. You need to, just sustain that tyrosinase inhibition. That is the most effective way to maintain results. And to use a daily broad spectrum protection. That again is non-negotiable. If you're awake, you're wearing protection. So what are we going to do to keep those melanocytes in check? We're going to use that melantran 3 concentrate, reintroduce it to the skins post their cosmelan treatment system with that tranexamic acid, that tri-control complex that works at that tyrosinase. You've got that enzymatic complex to work at the surface and niacinamide in between at night, and then use it with your Milan gel cream. It has a different formulation, so it's more suitable for more sensitive and daily use in the sun. So put those together, and of course, that sunscreen. Now, to conclude, I just want to say yes, Cosmelan is the leader in depigmentation. And it does have that unique dual action solution. Cosmelan is going to get you have that short-term clearance and long-term control. It's going to give you those results with anti-glycation and anti-aging effects as well. And for you, that skin professional, if you follow the science and trust the process, embrace that experience, you will have spectacular results. So thank you again for joining us.